From the studios of Watchman Broadcasting on the banks of the Savannah River, it's Club 36 with Dorothy and Russell Spalding.
And we have my sister here. Now, I'm telling you what, I adopted her years ago, but we have been close friends, and I just love her so much.
We are people that, like the Sea of Galilee, we get and we give back. And only if you give back, you can have good life and you can love. And when I finished to do my role in Ashkelon, I was looking to continue, receive and give back life to others, because that's what will make me being alive and flourish.
Yes.
And I was looking for a very unique institution that will move my heart to help them. And usually, you know, I'm very into health and education, and I'm very into kids.
Yeah.
And I found this unique institution in Israel that every time I go out from one out of their institutions, I just start to cry, not because of sadness, because of joyness. That the Jaffa institution that is there for 35 years and nobody knows about the jewel.
It's in Jaffa.
It's not only in Jaffa, it's also in Jerusalem, in the north, in the south.
Okay.
It's, there are institutions all over the country. I want to help that place. So here I am, helping this Jaffa institution.
Listen, I found a new friend. Hi, Mitch. But I think I met him.
We know each other.
And we've known each other, but we're trying to figure out when and where.
Jaffa is a city, a sub-city of Tel Aviv. It's part of the municipality. But you have to understand that outside the walls of the old city, 4,000-year-old city with many, many different historical and biblical things happening there, you have a population of 80,000 people, 65% are Jewish, 35% Arab, and out of the 35% are 6% Christian Arabs, but 75% are living under the poverty level.
Wow.
You're in the back. No, Jews also, right across the board. Out of that, there's every second household has a drug problem. There's drugs being dealt there, there's crime, single-parent families. And what happens, these kids, if they're not in the care of the Jaffa Institute, with coming to our programs, these kids will fall to the streets. What does that mean? They'll become a runner for drugs. It's very easy to make 20 shekels if you take this package and run down the street and deliver it. But we know what's going to happen to that kid, and we know where he's going to end up, and we know what the consequences, either dead or in jail. And this kid has the potential of being somebody that could win a Nobel Prize like Israel has every year. He could be a politician, which is not a great thing, maybe.
Now, does Israel do the Nobel Prize?
No, but we win all the time the Nobel Prizes. No, but you never know what the potential of these children are. These kids are the future of the state of Israel. They live in a tough neighborhood in Jaffa. Israel's in a tough neighborhood in the Middle East, and without their proper education, without them getting the right tools to succeed in life beyond all the obstacles in their family, and they have plenty of obstacles in the family. There's no food in the house. The kids don't know what a shopping mall is. They don't go to movies. They don't have what kids in better neighborhoods have. So what happens when you don't have it? Either you act out, either you go steal it, and we know what these kids are going to end up. So whatever they need, they get in the Jaffa Institute from a half-year-old to 18 years old, and these kids are put on the right track to make sure that they're good, productive citizens for the state of Israel. Without that, we can imagine what Israel would be. And we're very, very proud that now in our 35th year, we could say thousands upon thousands of lives have been saved and given the right direction, where they complete 12 years of studies, they matriculate, they go on to the Israel Defense Forces, which is part of the culture of Israel. I served in the Israeli army. I still do things in and around my community, but we have so many kids that go into the army, and the army would say to them, you're coming from a slum neighborhood, from a poor family, you probably, let's put you as a truck driver or something, and the kid says, no, I want to be a pilot. I want to be a commander. And they get the coaching from us, plus the support that they need, And I have to tell you the story. Our chairman and founder, Dr. David Portowitz, who himself is a rabbi and a doctor of social work, one of his sons, who was in the Army, finished a course. And usually at the end of a course, they change commanders, and they have what we call a mizdar. What would you call a mizdar in English? It's like where everybody's standing at attention to receive the new commander. And in walks the new commander, Yossi. And he's standing there in shock. Yossi was a kid who grew up in the Jaffa Institute, and from the poorest of poor families, with problems with the parents, no food, acting out. And this Yossi turned around his life through the Jaffa Institute,
Wow.
was given the power to go on and become a commander. And now the kid who is a tough kid when he was growing up is the commander of the son of the founder of the institute that gave him everything.
Wow.
So to have that power to change lives, to give back to these kids, look, what's the bottom dollar? We're not going to be here how much longer, maybe
That's
till
it.
120, but they're the new leadership of the future of Israel. They have to understand the good things, and they have to understand the things that we're confronted with. If it's terrorism, if it's the lovely neighbors that we have around Israel that all want to eat us up, if it's what the world thinks about us, what's happening in Europe or in the United States with Islamic terrorism all over the place, we have to be able to educate these kids and give them the tools. And I have to tell you, a lot of these kids growing up in families who don't even have lunch to put on the table. So if they don't come to us, they're not eating. So after school ends at 1:30 in the afternoon, we have hundreds of kids coming into many centers of the Jaffa Institute, and the first and most important thing is a hot meal.
You know, that's amazing to me. All the times I've been in Israel, I've never seen that side. You don't see that side when you go on a tour. I don't go on tours, I come with Earl. And so, of course, we're at the Knesset and things like that, but I have never seen that side. And yet you see on that rabbi, whatever, he has the meals for the people. So it's really for real.
It's a real issue. Let me give you some statistics. The government of Israel every year publishes statistics on poverty in Israel. This year was 1.65 million people living under poverty. In the nonprofit sector, we add 500,000 people to that number. I'm not great at math, but I think it's around 2.2 million. Today, Israel's population is 8.5 or 8.6 million. Doing quick math, it's approximately 25% of the population living under poverty. Out of that number of 2.2 million, 845,000 are children. Now, let's break it down to another level of what we define poverty. A family of 4 or 5 people living on welfare, public assistance, are receiving up to 3,000 shekels a month. In dollars, that's approximately $720 a month. They have to pay 1,800 to 2,000 shekels a month rent, and then they have another 1,000 shekels for electricity, water, maybe a cell phone, food. Forget about clothes, forget about going to the movies, forget about going on a week trip to the north or the south. Forget about it, it doesn't exist. In my experience of going to many of these homes and with the social workers and looking at what they have in the house and the conditions, you walk out and you're appalled. It breaks your heart because these kids were born into poverty and they have absolutely nothing. So after school, when they're coming to have that hot meal at Jaffa Institute, it's a full, nutritious meal that they get. And we see many kids taking food off of the table. One quick story of an 8-year-old boy in 2nd grade came in and was looked to the right and looked to the left to see if anybody was coming. And he started stealing the pita bread off of the table and stuffing his pockets in his backpack. And at the time we had Esther, who was with the Jaffa Institute for many years till she retired, came running out of the kitchen and said, "What are you doing?" And the kid fell on the floor, hysterical, crying. He put his hands up like this, praying, "Don't call the police. You can't have me arrested. Let me go home." Hysterical, crying. We had to carry him out of the dining room to the staff room and calm him down. And it turned out that this 8-year-old kid who was just caught stealing pita bread comes from a family with
pita bread.
Yeah, stealing the pita bread, comes from a family with 2 younger brothers and sisters. His mother's a single parent who was sick with the flu.
And they have no money.
And there's no money. And he came to steal the food because he knew if he didn't get home by 3 o'clock with some pita bread, he was afraid his younger brother and sister were going to die because there was nothing to eat at home.
Oh. You know what he's telling you, and you are saying, I never see it in Israel. You are so right. Not you. Even I didn't see it in Israel.
Wow.
And that's why when I started to research about this place, I said, wait, we have a different world inside Israel
that nobody knows.
My mission is not only to help them. My mission is also to connect between the Christian community around the world to the Jaffa institution, and we actually opened a special program called An Orange Tree in Zion. For us, every child is an orange. It's not easy to grow an orange. You know, we eat oranges, but it's very difficult to grow them. And for us, this child that we are raising there, and we help him, because we don't have any other, we don't have oil, we don't have gold, we don't have anything, we have brain. And if we don't use the brain of our kids, we're going to lose it.
Yeah.
So actually, we are calling every Christian that comes in to feel the Holy Spirit in Israel to come and volunteer in our centers. And you can find information about the volunteering on the website www.anorangetreeinzion.org, which is one word.
They'll be putting it up on the screen, I hope.
And I think that because I didn't see it in Israel, I really want people like me in Israel to see it, and I really want the Christian community to come and see it. And come, even if you can come and volunteer for a few hours, 2-3 hours out of your trip, and feel that you are contributing to continue and grow our brains and army kids so we can continue and save our country and wait for the Messiah to come.